So I'm not religious, although my family, they're all Jewish, and I've never really been to synagogue, or I've never been to church. My father's side's a little bit Christian. I'm wondering if you need to be religious or spiritual in some capacity to live life and have it be as meaningful as it possibly can be, or if you can find just as much fulfillment and meaning while being, I would say, like, not religious.
So I can't speak for every single human. So I'm not going to say that there are people who can't find that or it's impossible to find that. I will say that it doesn't scale. That if I'm talking to like an average person, I don't know anything about you, then I would say that yes, a religious life is going to be a better life. It leads you on a pathway toward understanding that there's more in life than you, that your moral system is not the only moral system, nor is it a moral system that is irrefutable, that there is a higher goal to life. There's certain premises I think that everybody lives based off of that are effectively religious that they refuse to acknowledge. Free will being one of them. The notion we live in an understandable universe that we are capable of actually exploring being another one of them. The notion that human life is of innate value. I think that's an assumption that is based on nothing if you're not a religious person. If you're a religious person, you say this because we're all made in the image of God. If you're not a religious person, then I don't know on a logical level why a human life would be any more valuable than an elephant life or a squirrel life. You can make an emotional argument, perhaps, but I don't think that you can make a perfectly logical one because there's nothing about a human being that is any different than any other piece of meat on sort of a material level. And you can say that that meat has different properties, but why are those properties more valuable? Like, why is consciousness valuable, for example? Like, what in order to say that consciousness is valuable, you have to say that consciousness is good. Okay, how do you define good? Good for what? Morally good? Now you're talking about an Izot gap that can't be bridged by atheism or agnosticism. So can you live a life on a practical level that is happy and fulfilled while not filling those gaps? Sure, you could. Does it scale? Not remotely. Is that going to work for millions of people? No. This is why secular humanism is a failure as a project. It collapses pretty quickly into moral relativism, narcissism, hedonism. And that's what you're watching as the birth rates in the West collapse. And as people in more and more are caught up in their own internal subjective assessments of self as like the key to all human existence.